Hey everybody, Mario here, otherwise known as Y2M on the interwebs, and welcome to another edition of the Reboot Review. Okay, here's the thing. I got about 8 of the new 52 this week, and so there's just no way I can talk about all of them in one video, so I'm going to split things up. I'm going to do 4 in this one, and another 4 in another video coming up real soon, so just keep an eye out for that. Alright, now let's get this started. So I got 8 new number 1s from DC's New 52, and for the most part, this week's selection was pretty stellar. But at the same time, this week also had its share of controversy, which I will sort of get into this time, but you should probably keep an eye out for my thoughts vlog for a better elaboration on it. Alright, well let's get cracking. Let's talk about Wonder Woman, number 1. This is not what I expected. I kind of was expecting, I don't know, whatever stuff that came before, I guess. But then again, it wouldn't really be a new relaunch series if it was. I just wasn't expecting a, I don't know, a kind of a horror-ish vibe to it. But that's exactly what happens. Brian Azzarello, the writer, had basically promised us that a different change of pace, and that this Diana would be a little more hardcore, and that the stories would be a little more violent than we're used to. And he is pretty much correct. Unlike other previous Wonder Women in the past, this version of Diana doesn't take no crap from nobody, and she is pretty much confident and self-assured of herself. So this is a book I think people of both sexes will enjoy. Cliff Chiang's artwork took me a little bit to get used to because of the dark tones and because of the artwork just, I don't know, it just looks a little off. Well, I don't want to say off. I'm not trying to criticize it. It just looks different from what I'm used to. That's what I want to get at. By Cliff Chiang's own admission, he actually meant to give it the same color and tones as you would find in other Greek artworks. I didn't know what to think of it at first. It just looked a little off to me, a little different. But I ended up enjoying it, and I thought that considering how the story was playing out in this issue and in future issues, this is the kind of tone and coloring that you want. I'm actually rather curious to see how this plays out. It's just not what I expected, but it's a good kind of different. So I'm going to get an issue 2 for this, and you should too. Alright, next up, we have Green Lantern Corps. Okay, so this was originally not something I was going to get. The thing is, I said to myself, if I enjoyed the Green Lantern proper, if I enjoyed that first issue, I should give other Lantern series a chance. And so I added it to my pull list, and I'm really glad I did. It's violent, you know, because of the new villains that are introduced in the book, but it's not over the top. It's appropriate. It's, you know, it fits in with the plot. I like that. I love the artwork in this. Perfect for a Green Lantern series. And I love the fact that the writer Peter Tomasi made me like the 2 Lanterns that I really didn't care about in the past, Guy Gardner and John Stewart. That's a feat that made me want to get issue 2. What makes me want to buy the second issue of these new number 1s is the last page, the splash page. And after looking at this one, yeah, I'm going to get issue 2. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you're going to be saying dag, yo, a lot. Pick up GLC. Oh man, now we're stepping into some controversy. Catwoman number 1. Ooh boy. There was a lot of controversy with this one. Written by Judd Winnick, with art by Gil March. The art was pretty. As far as art is concerned, good work. It's everything else. There's an article that I read on comicsalliance.com, which you should probably check out. Pretty much pointed out what I felt when I read this. It's a little over the top with its sexuality, especially with Selina Kyle. It's a little ridiculous. The first shots we see of Catwoman is not even her face. It's basically her boobs and her ass. We don't even get to see her face, I think, until page 3. And that's a little disconcerting right there. And pretty much throughout the issue, she's basically showing off something to somebody. Whether it's to get information, well, she doesn't really get information in this one, but she does it for her own needs. Except for when she meets up with a certain Dark Knight. Then it just becomes ridiculous and insulting for both characters. Because you see, I understand that Catwoman is supposed to be a promiscuous or a flirty character, but here it just goes ridiculous with it. I mean, she's a tease, not a slut, and that's exactly what they made her out to be in this one. And it doesn't help that Batman just gives in and well, spoiler alert, does shag her. He's kind of a pillar of virtue, and he's someone I hold in high regard as far as comic book characters concerned. And for him to just go, okay, let's do it, it just rubbed me the wrong way. At best, it was a little disconcerting, and at worst, it's downright insulting. I'm gonna get a second issue, I guess, because, I mean, somewhere along the sex stuff, there was this whole plot of who's trying to kill Catwoman, and I guess maybe they'll answer it in the second issue. But really, I'm only doing this out of obligation to review it more than I am for enjoyment. It just rubbed me the wrong way, and it just seemed like this book was catered to those horny dorks that sneak in playboys. It just seemed like it was meant for them and not for people who are serious for story or for women readers. I saw this video by someone who makes good points. She does regular good point videos. Should pop in right there, or right there. I'm not sure which way. But she made an extremely great point about Catwoman and about Red Hood and the Outlaws. I didn't pick that one up because my crapdar went crazy, and I just was like, I should avoid this. Although it's not always accurate, as you can see. But she makes several excellent points, and it really is a bad rap for lady readers of comics, because it really feels like most of the stuff that comes out is against women. And dude, I'm a dude, and I feel like this is so messed up. I mean, if you thought Catwoman was bad, I glanced at the digital copy of Red Hood and the Outlaws with Starfire. Wow. So yeah, back to Catwoman though. I'm picking up number 2 out of obligation, and that's it. If I see more of the same, I'm done with Catwoman. Anyway, the last thing on this edition of the Reboot review, Birds of Prey number 1. Now, I had low expectations about this book, so imagine my surprise that this ended up being rather good and kind of exciting, or at least just fun. They introduced a new character, Starling, and Dinah, aka Black Canary's new costume is a little different, but the storyline started off with a bang or a crash, and it was pretty good. It was exciting. The villains were introduced at a good pace. The banter between Black Canary and Starling was made me chuckle, and I had a lot of fun with this book. And also, ladies and dudes, this is women heroes done right. I really had a lot of fun with this book. Didn't expect it to be up there, but it is to me. And I think you should check out Birds of Prey. It actually has a lot of good stuff in the works, and I can't wait till I pick up issue 2 for this. What a surprise. Alright guys, well that does it for this edition. Keep an eye out for my next Reboot review. It should come up within a day or 2, and I'm going to cover the other four books that I got this week. If you want me to get a little more in-depth about the whole degrading Catwoman and Starfire topic, check out my thoughts blog that I should have within the next week, I think. Anyway, that about does it for now. I'll see you guys next time. As always, if you have anything you want to say, comment, video response, stay nerdcore, Y2M out.